Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsey's Little Library. So I'm here today with my October wrap-up, and I cannot believe, but I got back in my reading groove and somehow read 8 books in the month of October. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't remember the last month I did that. Seriously. We need to just start and go through this, otherwise this video is gonna be forever talking about 8 books. First one I want to talk about is Choose Us by Kaylee Marco. This is a local author to me. Someone that I work with knows her and highly suggested this book, and I loved it. It is very contemporary romancy. It just was an easy read I needed at that moment, and I absolutely loved it. So it follows 2 characters, Riley and Travis. They are best friends, have been best friends for a long time. Travis is like an extreme BMX biker, I think you would say. So he ends up getting injured and can't bike for a while, and is approached by a reality TV show, think The Bachelor, and asked to go onto the show, date these, I think 16 women, and hopefully marry one. And so the only way he's going to do this is if Riley is going to be one of these women, because she's always been around and helped him make these decisions. He won't do it without her, and well, it goes from there. It's a little predictable, yes, but I just needed that. I needed a really good easy read. If you're looking for a really cute easy read, Choose Us. It was adorable. I loved it. Next one, this is the only audiobook I did, was My Absolute Darling by Gabrielle Talent. This is one I read. I had to drive to Minneapolis for work. It's quite a drive for me, so this basically filled up the entire time. So this follows our main character, Turtle, and she's got a pretty rough life. Her mom had passed away, so she's being raised by her father, who's very abusive, and her grandfather, who's kind of, he's in the picture, he kind of knows what's going on. But yeah, she ends up retreating. They live on the West Coast, I think Oregon, and so she retreats to the woods a lot just to kind of get away from her insane life. And there meets a boy who is the same kind of class as she is, becomes friends, and kind of gets this taste of normal life. But it's basically her journey and what kind of happens from there. But it is one of those books that I feel guilty liking as much as I did, because there's some stuff that happens in this book that is not easy to read or listen to, but I really, really enjoyed this book. I definitely recommend it if you are if you're okay with reading some pretty disturbing content, but it's still very good. Next one I picked up was What Happened That Night by Sandra Block. This is kind of a mystery thriller-ish book. This was the book club book for October. I was hoping for a little bit more. I think I gave it 3, maybe 4 stars. She didn't remember what happened on a particular night, and kind of events start coming back to her. An event happens that forces her to face the truth about what happened that night, and she kind of takes justice into her own hands. So I did enjoy it. Not my fave, but I liked it. If you're looking for a good mystery, I would definitely say I would suggest it. I'm not saying don't read it, but don't expect to be like blown away. And that kind of started off my quest in the month of October to scare the crap out of myself. And I would like to announce right now that I accomplished that wholeheartedly. There were 2 books that gave me goosebumps. I like out loud was like, what? Yeah, definitely accomplished that. So first one that I absolutely fell in love with was How to Hang a Witch by Adriana Mather. This is full-on October spooky feels, and these were books I read during Spookathon, so if you have heard me talk about these already, fast forward a little bit. If not, hold on. So this follows our main character, Sam, and she recently moved to Salem, Massachusetts, and kind of, it's very obvious that she is not welcome there because she is a descendant of Cotton Mather, who was the main kind of accuser within the Salem witch trials, and there's descendants of the witches that she's going to school with, and it is so full of witchy fun, and there's paranormal stuff that happens, there's a mystery they have to solve, there's curses, there's, oh my gosh, it is full of Halloween witchy fun. It is YA, so there is a little bit of a love interest in there that I could have like take it or lose it. It wasn't making the story fantastic for me, but I understand that that is kind of expected in a YA book, so I just ran with it. But overall, love this book, to the point I had to buy the second book immediately. The next book I picked up is Jar of Hearts by Jennifer Hillier. This was recommended to me by a couple good friends of mine. I kept seeing it on Facebook. A number of people were picking up Jar of Hearts this month, so I did too. So this follows the story of our main character, Angela. No, that's not the main character. What is her name? Georgina, but they call her Gio. So Gio has the perfect life, great career, about to get married to an amazing man, and then one day in the boardroom of her company, or the company she worked for, she gets arrested for the murder of her best friend. What? So it kind of has dual time perspectives with this. So you kind of figure out what happened back when this whole thing happened, and then her going to jail, getting out, going forward from there. Very good. Very good. I don't know if I gave it 4 or 5 stars, but highly recommend. It was really good. Didn't quite scare the crap out of me. This one made me go, what? This one definitely had some surprises I enjoyed. This is the one that really had me freaked out. This is The Night Sister by Jennifer McMahon. Oh, like I am reading it at night and we're in bed, and I literally gave it to Matt. I had all the goosebumps. Gave it to Matt and told him he needed to put it on the other side of the room because I just couldn't even, this book. Ugh. So this actually has 3 time perspectives. So we have, I believe, the 1950s, when this Tower Motel is in its heyday, everything's great. We have 2 sisters that live there. Amy, no, not Amy. What were the sisters' names? No, Sylvie and Rose were the 2 sisters. The 3 timelines and the girls is a slightly confusing. It took me a little bit to catch on, but you'll get it. So Sylvie and Rose, living in the 1950s, their parents own this Tower Motel, and some suspicious things are happening, like things going bump in the night that are scary. So then you fast forward to the 1980s, where we have Amy, Piper, and Margot, who are best friends. Amy's mom was Rose, so she's a descendant of these girls. Still lives at the Tower Motel. Now the Tower Motel is closed. Her grandma, who owned the Tower Motel, still is there. And there's a bit of a mystery. They start to figure out something happened in the 1950s, and they start digging around. Then you have present day and what has kind of happened as a result of what they found in the 1980s. Creepy as creepy. This seriously is still giving me goosebumps remembering those parts. So fantastic read, 5 stars, I highly recommend. The next book I picked up is Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead. This is for my Barnes & Noble book club meeting that's coming up in a few days. We do a local book club meeting. This isn't the national book. But I don't know how to feel about this book, because for the majority of the book I was having a hard time following his writing style, which I was afraid of a little bit after reading Underground Railroad by him, but I was willing to kind of give it another try. But I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but I would find myself being bored. This isn't a very long book, and it took me a while to get through. But saying that, things happened in this book that had me very interested. This follows these 2 boys that go to the Nickel Boys Academy. Basically, it's like a juvenile reform school that was open in the 1960s, which that did exist. So there are some things that happened at this academy that are kind of the backstory of this book. Come here. I know we have a different guest today. She doesn't usually join us, which means I wonder where where Stormy is. Anyways, so we have this backstory of this academy that I'm very interested in, and then you follow what happens to these couple of boys. I don't know how to rate it because I liked what I learned and I liked how the story unfolded, but the writing itself was hard and I found myself a little bored. So I think I have it as a 3-star right now. I don't know what to think about that. Like, if you were to ask me if I recommend that book, I don't know what to say about that or what other books to compare it to see if you would like that type of a book, but it's got me conflicted. I don't know. If anyone else has read Nickel Boys, comment below because I feel like I need to talk about this a little bit more to figure out how I really feel. But the last book I finished up is It's Always the Husband by Michelle Campbell. Oh, it's good. Definitely good. I was a little confused a bit because it's always the husband. A husband doesn't come into play until like well over half of this book. I mean, it did, but it was interesting. This follows 3 friends in school. We've got Kate and Jenny and Aubrey. Kate, Jenny, and Aubrey. Kate is your typical privileged, rich girl. Jenny is the hometown, I wouldn't say poor, but working class, middle class girl. And then Aubrey comes from a very poor background, and they all go to Carlisle, which is a very prestigious college. They become roommates, they become friends, and they have to keep a secret. So you have dual timelines, kind of what happened then, takes up a chunk of the beginning of the book, and then present day takes up later. It's good. I don't want to give anything away, but I really enjoyed it. It's definitely 5 stars. So those are the 8 books I read in October. I am shocked I still read that many books. I loved it. Spookathon definitely helped. Yeah, but I will take it. I accomplished my goal of scaring the crap out of myself. I read a lot of great mystery, thriller, October-ish books that I will highly suggest for anybody to pick up. But yeah, I think it's good. Let me know down below if there's a good book that you picked up this October. Did you scare the crap out of yourself? I hope you did, because that's just what October's for. Otherwise, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.